How much territory can you lose and still wage a war? Well, apparently it's most of Louisiana and most of Tennessee and most of North and South Carolina and huge swaths of Western Virginia. But they're still waging a war in the Confederacy. Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me, as always, is Prospector Johnny. And another week down, Prospector, and another week of Confederates losing a crap ton of territory. So,
what else is new? I mean, this is really getting it's kind of stale.
Yeah, I'm kind of bored of it.
Tommy,
Yeah,
we have been doing the same thing every week, where we take a little bit more of their land, they surrender a little bit more troops. They some fine folks probably die on both sides.
Well,
and yet
here we are. They're still not surrendering. Well, Johnny, this week is going to start on May 9th with Confederate forces evacuating Norfolk, their largest naval yard that they're now just handing over to the Union. As much equipment, machinery, and ships that couldn't be evacuated were destroyed to prevent them from falling into Union hands. So already don't have supplies, and we're just burning it.
Well, I mean, okay, but to be fair, they did not have those supplies either way.
Either way.
It was they're going to be charred remains, or
fair point.
The North will get them.
Yeah.
So I guess it at least makes sense that they are destroying their
and
very, very limited supplies.
I also forgot to mention, Johnny, that this is Norfolk was actually a strategic storage depot for supplies and munitions. So,
and who got it?
Yeah,
who took it?
These guys, the blue guys, they're gonna get it.
The
yeah,
North,
yeah.
They have it now. So we got some good stuff.
Yeah, we got some good stuff. While this is going on, there's some rather heavy skirmishing between Halleck's advancing troops and Beauregard, both down at Farmington and Corinth out in Mississippi. And down in Florida, Johnny, Confederates are abandoning the Pensacola region as forces from Fort Pickens have increased their pressure. So
Pensacola's ours.
Essentially. Pensacola's ours. Yeah, the Confederates are starting to pull out. We're moving in. So Fort Pickens, I've gone on. I wouldn't say vacation, but I've gone on vacation.
I would
down
say.
there.
I would
vacation.
Say. I would.
It was
say
nice. I went down there to
vacation.
enjoy the beaches. It was nice. I put my bathing long johns on and went into the ocean there. It was quite nice last year.
Survived too. Which
survived.
Is
well, we were. Well, it was
general.
not so many rounds were firing when I went down there.
Not about the troops. I'm talking about the animals in the ocean. That
the alligators. Yeah. There are those ones. And so the hope here was that the Confederates at Pensacola could put up enough pressure on Fort Pickens to get Fort Pickens to evacuate, but it went flopsies. Went flopsies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Immediately after this retreat, a Major General David Hunter at Hilton Head Island in South Carolina orders the emancipation of all slaves in Florida, Georgia, and Southern Carolina.
That's wow. Okay.
And he authorizes the arming of all able-bodied men of color in those states. This is on his own authority and not approved by Congress or Lincoln whatsoever, who are both not pleased that this order was given.
Hold on. So he said, y'all are free.
Yeah.
And then y'all are enlisted?
Well, if you want to, you can. If you're able-bodied and you want, you don't have to. It's not like he's forcing them to fight, but if they want to, if they can, then they want to.
All right, but you're free, but then we also got some uniforms.
I think this similar thing
and this
happened.
is under the he has zero authority.
Zero authority. It's the same
to
thing.
Do any of it.
Yeah, it's the same thing that happened out in Missouri a few months back. And it didn't go very well for them out.
Maybe this is one of those things where they all got together and they're like, guys, you know what? Maybe every little bit, we're just going to announce it. Just, slavery's over. You're all free. And then
maybe eventually
hope it sticks.
Hope it sticks, yeah. Well, it doesn't it doesn't stick this time, Johnny.
Not yet. Okay. Nah, we're still doing the thing where we own people.
Now, I'm trying to be, as fair to the I don't want to come off as Union propaganda here. So to be fair, the dirty rebels, to be fair to them.
I would hate for everybody to think that like
the guy who's wearing blue
is
supports
side
the blue.
of the Union.
Yeah.
Here.
But in any case, Stonewall Jackson is pursuing Union troops on the retreat in the Kanawha Valley after his victory on my birthday yesterday. So he's still pursuing those Union troops. So I do have to recognize that the Confederates, in one very small part of this war, are successful-ish. Anyways.
All right, so they got this one dude that
did okay in the Kanawha
We gave him a nickname, week 1 of the war?
That was well after week 1, but first major battle of the war. Yeah, first major battle.
It was close to week 1. Mr. Stonewall Jackson, and now he's all...
By the way...
I'm going to go get a bunch of minor victories.
He got that nickname for, losing over half of his force. Like, over half of his force
the Stonewall was actually just a wall of bodies of people he left behind that he built up. It was a skeleton wall. It should be Skeleton Wall Jackson.
Skeletor Jackson. Anyways, on May 10th, federal mortar boats would move just north of Fort Pillow in Tennessee. This makeshift Confederate...
What's his name?
Who? Skeletor Jackson?
No. Was it Colonel Motorboats?
Colonel Motorboat? No, I said federal mortar boats. Mortar boats. Not motorboats.
That makes more sense.
I don't know what a motorboat is. Anyways, these mortar boats are going to move towards Fort Pillow. The makeshift Confederate river defense would attempt to engage the mortar boats when 7 federal ironclads appeared under Captain Charles H. Davis. Confederates, underneath Captain James E. Montgomery, did their best to defend this massive armored fleet versus, because the Confederates have a bunch of unarmored rowboats with some cannons attached to them, and they're like, well, we're going to do our best.
They're launching fireworks at warships during this, essentially.
Now, to be fair, to give credits to the Dirty Rebels, they do manage to ram and sink the c.s.s. Cincinnati and Mound City, but cost them half of their fleet, and the remaining were badly damaged and had to retreat. So at the
cost
all the way back to Memphis, Tennessee. So at
the entire battle, they said, we'll sink 1 ship.
2 ships. They got 2 ships.
All right, 2 ships.
Federal troops will occupy Norfolk and Pensacola with plenty of supplies still left in both locations. So
on account of them just running away with fully
they burned what they could, but it didn't. It didn't stick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least they didn't burn it like the last folks.
They tried, but it didn't. They didn't burn it all. They tried to burn what they could.
So they were just inept.
Yeah.
At both battling and
retreating. Yeah.
Destroying the limited supplies that they have. Just all around the board. Just top, bottom, below average citizens of this country.
Top notch. And Johnny, Benjamin Butler, the military governor in New Orleans, is going to seize $800,000 in gold from the Netherlands consulate. Johnny.
Hold up.
Consulate of a foreign country. We're going to seize $800,000 in gold.
The North. This is
North. This is us. Guys? This is General Benjamin, guy in blue.
A general, but what? Hold on. How? Where is? Okay.
So, if you remember,
where is the gold?
So, if you remember, Johnny, from months ago,
I don't. I'm going to tell you that right now, Tommy. I don't. Remind me.
The Confederates, when they took Nolens, when they seceded, and Nolens, Louisiana, became a part of the Confederacy, they seized the Nolens Mint, which was one of our largest mints in the United States, which was minting gold coinage, which has a mint mark on it, 0 mint mark. Now. Butler, in his first active military governor of Nolens, is trying to recur as much of that gold as he possibly can that hasn't already been spent. He does find some odds and ends, including like around $50,000 from here and there of gold. And he gets a tip that says the Netherlands consulate is in possession of a substantial portion of this coinage. So
Who is the Netherlands consulate, and why do we care?
Well, it's a foreign country, Johnny. It's the Netherlands, Dutch Netherlands.
Sure, no. I know what the Netherlands are
because you can't
here in America. Foreign consulate is basically a cabin with a bunch of gold in it. Like what? How? How'd he get it?
Well, because they were aiding and abetting Confederates, allegedly. So Butler is going to accuse Contrie, that's Conturie. It's a Frenchman. He's a French national acting as a consul to the Netherlands. He's going to accuse him of squirreling away stolen gold from New Orleans Mint, meant to aid the Confederacy. He's accusing him of being a Confederate sympathizer that has squirreled away this gold as the Union Army has approached. Over the protest of diplomatic immunity, which he does have diplomatic immunity, which General Butler completely and totally ignores, kicks down the door, searches the property where he finds $800,000 in gold with a 0 mint mark from New Orleans, clearly stating that this is U.S. federal monies. $800,000
That's impossible.
In gold.
That's an impossible amount of money.
It does seem so, but it is what he got. On May 11th, the glorious Confederate secret weapon, the ironclad c.s.s. Virginia, formerly the USS Merrimack, is at the bottom of the sea, Johnny. It's at the bottom of the sea. Yeah, it's at the bottom of the sea.
Gee, I mean...
The Confederate secret weapon, the famous Battle of the Ironclads. Watch that episode on Historic Hindsight. With no port to go to, not ocean-worthy itself, Flag Officer Josiah Tatnall has to have no other option than to scuttle the boat. So he orders it scuttled. Once the guns and supplies were removed, a powder trail was led to the ship's magazine cache, and
bang.
Boom!
Yeah, it's a bad day.
Bad day.
Bad day.
So it is now at the bottom of the ocean again for the second time.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Halleck's advance onto.
Are they gonna do the thing?
The Union's not gonna resurrect it this time.
It's gone. It's a coral reef now.
It's a coral reef. Yep. Meanwhile, Halleck's advance onto Corinth, Mississippi, has more or less turned into a siege, as opposed to a major battle, which is what it was supposed to be. So, go Halleck.
Okay.
On the 12th, hero of New Orleans, the naval officer Farragut, who led his fleet, snuck his fleet through the Confederate blockade to be able be able to seize New Orleans. He's going to lead his fleet to the city of Natchez, Mississippi, and he's going to secure that city, again, earning him more and more of a reputation.
Get after it, bud. Like, you're doing great.
He's doing good. This guy needs a promotion.
Is there a medal? Is there like an MVP?
He
like a
needs
medal
something.
we can get for like most best?
Rumor has it now. See, our Navy has yet to ever promote somebody to the rank of admiral, and it sounds like because we're trying to separate ourselves from the dirty British.
What?
So we've always used like flag officer as the kind of equivalent of admiral. I hear that he's up for possibly being the first rear admiral.
Now, if we're trying, so we're trying to separate ourselves from the British Navy, which I get. Like we had a whole war over
couple of wars,
from them. But like, so why not just make up a new word, like a new? I don't know. Call them the. I don't know the flatterer.
Well, that's what we call them flag officers, which is basically the equivalent. But I think he's going to get the actual title of rear admiral. But that has
rear admiral.
That's a rumor. Okay. That's a rumor. Hasn't happened yet.
Is there also a front admiral, or is that not a?
You would think with rear admiral there should be a front ad.
But no.
Also on May 12th, Johnny, getting sidetracked, while a convention of pro-unionists gathers in Nashville, Tennessee, Lincoln is going to declare commerce back open in Port Royal, South Carolina, and Bayfort, North Carolina. So Lincoln is like... So there's pro-unionists in Tennessee saying, hey, union, let's establish a union government here in Tennessee. And Lincoln's going to say, hey, things are so calm in Port Royal and Bayfort that commerce is back open. So these formerly seceded cities are now back in Union control with normal, regular commerce resuming.
So we have reabsorbed,
I mean,
taken.
When you control a region well enough to open up general day-to-day commerce,
Markets,
I think it's back. It's the mission accomplished.
Yes, that's done. We have that now.
It's done. This is now ours again.
And maybe the rest of the South should take a look at how nice that looks.
Yeah, right?
They're probably it looks pretty good. And then can we send a newspaper out? I don't know.
Right, a newspaper. Yeah, well, good. On the 13th of May, Johnny, Jackson is pulling back from Franklin, West Virginia, as Union General Fremont arrives with his forces. Fremont being the man who declared slavery ended in Missouri. Which
is so great. I'm so glad that slavery is just over there. What a good deal. It's not? What?
No, it's not.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, it's fine. We're fighting a war over it, but it's okay. We're not. We're not yet. That's not.
No, not over slavery. Tommy, you told me this was over states' rights.
No, we're preserving the Union. That's what the boys in blue bring the Union back. Bring the.
No. But the people who wanted to not preserve the Union.
Well, that was slavery.
That was about what?
They explicitly said in the Declaration of Secession and the immediate causes of secession that it was slavery. Yeah. But the boys in blue aren't fighting for slaves yet.
Wait. So, okay, no, that's fine. That's a pretty weird flex, though, to be like, hey, yeah, these people want to keep doing slaves, and we don't. But we're not fighting for those slaves. Fuck them. Don't care about them.
Country back.
Not worried about it. Just want the states back.
Lincoln wants everybody to know.
For taxes.
President Lincoln wants everybody to know.
Which is what we created this country over.
Taxes.
It was taxes. And he's like, whoa, half my taxes are gone. Don't like that. Get them back for me, boys. Say you don't want people to be owned or something. I don't know.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens when it's midnight when we're recording this. Johnny's had a couple of beers.
Sorry, folks.
No, I'm not recording. This is it, Johnny. And fun but odd note, Johnny, a group of escaped slaves in Charleston is going to steal Confederate steamer Planter and surrender it to Union forces, prompting martial law to be declared in Charleston because a bunch of escaped slaves stole a boat and gave it to the Union.
And then donated. I don't know what happened to those folks that did it, but I hope to God that it was a shake your hand, well on your way, get the hell out of here, you're free. Here's maybe, I don't know, $1. Whatever they had on them.
Remember, we consider them. They're considered contraband. They're considered spoils of military war.
Tommy, I'm tired of feeding a bunch of losers people, from the Confederacy.
Well, at least they gave us a boat. They gave us a boat this time, though, so it's not like. Anyways, on May 14th,
Johnny, are we going to pay them a boat's worth of food?
Maybe. On the 14th of May, Johnny, skirmishing is going to continue in Farmersburg and Corinth, as it has basically this whole week, but no major battle is in sight.
It's
just skirmishing. We're feeling each other out.
Anybody dying in this, or is this just?
There's people. Yeah, there's casualties. It's just.
Good. Thank God.
It's just not a. It's not a major. It's not a. I don't.
Would hate to have them waste their time.
Yeah, there's definitely people dying, but it's not like It's like tens of people, not thousands of people. So yeah.
So who gives a fuck?
So yeah, right. Exactly. At this point, Johnny, I can't tell you everybody's life story of everybody who got shot. Like, God, it's been too many at this point.
But you know what, Tommy? Maybe that's part of the problem.
Maybe, yeah. Well,
maybe that's
right here.
Maybe that's part of the issue is that the casualties of this Civil War we were part of the same country not too long ago, and all of a sudden. We have casualties that we can't even count.
Yeah.
You're like, who cares about the taxes?
Well, right.
Who cares about how many letters have to go home to how many mothers? If only 30 people, human beings, die, that's a skirmish. Who gives a shit about it?
Well, write Lincoln, Johnny. Write Lincoln and Trader President Davis.
I have written Lincoln several letters, Tommy. He has not responded.
Well, Johnny, this eventful week is going to come to an end with the Battle of Dreer's Bluff, Dwyer's Bluff. The USS Monitor, accompanied by 4 other federal vessels, will move up the James River towards Richmond. At Dwyer's Bluff, just 8 miles south of Richmond, Confederate defensive batteries would engage the Union fleet. Confederate guns at Fort Darling would duel with the Union boats for 4 hours, at which point the Union guns realized that they're on the river, the fort's up here, and they can't.
Just not getting
the guns can't get elevated high enough to hit that fort, so they can't do nothing. What this ultimately results in is...
Did they try shooting it? Did they even try shooting it at like an 80?
Well, they can't. They're on a boat, Johnny. They can't. There's only so far that gun can raise up on the boat, so they can't.
Oh.
They can't. That's why. So they retreat back, and
they just fix that.
They should. It is determined that maybe we shouldn't approach from the river because that's a pretty good fort up there, and we can't really do much about that. So we're just not going to come.
Yeah, I'm
not going to Richmond that way. The USS Monitor.
I'm not sure how much of our watching audience has a good feel of how rivers are laid out. Like major, good, big rivers are laid out. Well, because most people don't live by them, but
so the James River is a
river. It is literally just a river and then like
mountains,
planks up the side.
Yeah, and that's what we've got here at the James
for
River.
Hundreds of feet.
Yep. So basically the approach to Richmond is going to be not accessible through the James River. The USS Monitor itself is actually a bit too low. It sits too low in the water to have really engaged in this battle. So
I mean, all our ships were too low to it. Well, and we needed a 200-foot tall ship.
Or at least, or should have brought some of those.
With some dude on the top with a musket repeater or something.
Well, if we brought the mortar boats in, that might have helped because the mortars they shoot up, and
because
so the mortars sit on the deck of the boat and they shoot up. So that might have been better, but we didn't bring the mortars, so it is what it is. The USS Galena was actually struck 18 times during this battle and suffered significant damage, but was still able to make a withdrawal with the rest of the fleet. So no major loss there.
Good on you for surviving that.
And Johnny, I'm going to end this week.
Some medals. Can we give him some medals?
We should, yeah. I'm going to end this week, Johnny, with a final note in regards to General Butler, who's going to issue a war order which is not popular, and it's War Order number 28. And
wait, General Butler's issuing?
Yeah, General Butler.
Who's allowed to issue war orders?
He is, because he's the military governor of Nolens. So in Nolens, right now...
so he just straight took it over and went, yep, fascist. Gonna do this.
Yeah, because
I'm in charge.
He's trying
What's
to make...
my war order number 1? What is it?
What's 28, Johnny? It's war order number 28, so he's had 27
Why is it 28?
He's had 27 other orders he's already done. He's trying to control the region, because Nolens, specifically the women here in Nolens, aren't the most hospitable to the soldiers, and they're calling them some illicit names and throwing up some illicit gestures in their direction. So General Butler is going to respond with War Order number 28.
So they got a bunch of women
and
who
I quote, it says this. Well, Johnny, and I quote, this is the order, legit order. It says, as the officers and soldiers of the United States have been subject to repeat insults from women calling themselves ladies of New Orleans, in return for the most scrupulous non-interference and courtesy on our part, it is ordered that hereafter, when any female shall by word, gesture, or movement insult or show contempt for any officer or soldier of the United States, she shall be regarded and held liable to be treated as a woman of the town applying her vocation. So he is saying that any woman in New Orleans that says anything bad to a soldier is going to be arrested for prostitution.
Super hate that.
Yeah.
What a dick.
Not a fan of that.
Holy cow. I mean, good God. This is astounding. This is literally a petty, childlike little man being like, oh, well, if these women are going to make fun of me, I'm going to make it so that if they do, they will die.
I'm not die, just be arrested for being a whore.
But good God, fuck that guy.
Yeah, freedom of speech, out the window with this guy.
Yeah, no, this guy can I'm good with him. Just be done with him. Can we... Is there a way to... is there like a plunger? Eliminate...
Maybe
whoever.
Lincoln, best case scenario, Lincoln demotes them and moves them somewhere else, but we'll have to wait to next
week. Let's go ahead and let Lincoln do the right thing.
We'll have to wait till next week, Johnny. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. If you enjoy Civil War in Hindsight, check out Historic Hindsight. We talk about all kinds of fun things about how Washington tried to put a slave's tooth in his mouth.